Hi, I'm Blair Gilbert, here from MrHardware.com and Gilbert's Pro Hardware in St. Clair Shores, Michigan. Here to do a quick trick on how did I keep mold down in my cottage in Harson's Island. We used to have a serious mold problem here. I'd come up with my father and his sinuses would flare up, his nose would run, his eyes get all puffy, he was a mess. We found out that when we were here one time, we took and put a box fan over our access to our crawl space. So we have in our utility room, we have a hatch that we use to go downstairs, and we put a box fan over this hatch. We left this run for 1 week, which wasn't a good idea in my mind, because it's just a household appliance, and leaving it run for 6 days unattended was not too safe. We did it anyway for the sake of my dad's health. We ran that fan. We came back here the next week. The cottage was like a spring day. It was beautiful, because what happened is that fan was pushing down into the crawl space, taking all the dry air out of the cottage, forcing it into the crawl and out the crawl space vents. So we were effectively changing the air in the crawl space, driving any residual moisture and mold spores out to the vents, and we eventually turned the crawl space into a wonderful place to be. You went from a grimy, slimy to a dry, grimy place. So anyway, what I did after the fan was in for a week and it worked, I went and took, and I'll show you here, I took my hatch, I cut vents in my hatch, just cut holes, and underneath there's a vent fan, and this fan, I'll turn it on for a quick second here. It's a 2000 CFM fan. It moves 2,000 cubic feet per minute. So we're changing the air in the crawl space, and as you can see down there, that sand is all dry. Dry, dry, dry. It's beautiful down there. So now it's very hard for mold to grow in a dry environment. So to make the fan more legal and safer, I wired a timer. This is actually a sine timer out of my store. It's got a 3 amp fuse in the timer. So if the fan were ever to seize up or have a malfunction, it would blow a 3 amp fuse way before it would have to blow a 15 amp circuit breaker. I have my timer set to come on at 5 o'clock at night and run 6 o'clock at night. So that's kind of my driest time of the afternoon all through the summer. So whether I'm here or not, this fan kicks on, drives air into the crawl and out the vents. And there's one extra bonus that we get out of my fan here, is that when this is installed and running properly, we take, when we have friends up here and kids running in and out, we have grass all over the cottage. So we take this 30-inch mop and we run around the building and we get all the dust that we can get our hands on. Get more view outside, and we bring the dust mop back into the utility room and we run the mop over the fan. That sucks all the dust out of the mop. We do that about 3 times. The inside of the cottage is clean as a whistle. Okay, now, here we are coming outside. I'm going to give you a close-up of one of my vents so that you can see what's going on here. So the fan is running inside, and here's the vent fan blowing. Fortunately, there's a few leaves in here so that you get a clue of how powerful this fan is. See all this stuff blowing out? That's how much air is coming out of this particular vent. Now there are 4 more vents around the building. We'll give you a quick view of another one just so you see how powerful this all is. Here we are on the other side of the house. Now we're about as far away from my fan as you can get. So I take here on my little sidewalk, and you can see in here still the leaves that are blowing around, how good the airflow is way back here. So we're showing that we're changing the air in this whole 2,000 square foot crawl space, doing a lovely job of it on lovely Muskmouth Bay.